just make this happen. But y'all will see, because we've had half of the state call us between Eric and I, and at a convention, a conference I went today, everyone's like, the number 4 district in the state is considering going to a 4-day week. That was actually in the NOLA News. And it just took off. Like, if the number 4 district is going to actually implement this, there must be something to it. But I'd like to just set the record straight real quick, because I did do a lot of research and have some pretty hard numbers about what the actual savings are. Because it's not saving 1/5 of the entire budget when you're looking at these type of projects. Again, presentation, sorry. 4 words must be considered. I was going to put it up here, but the other TV stations probably wouldn't like that. That must be considered. We would have to rethink our curriculum. I don't know if y'all understand, the amount of work that we put into the curriculum through this curriculum department is structured around so many minutes per hour. Our lesson plans are done. Everything is created. We actually had to provide professional development for our teachers when we implemented these 2-block math periods. Teachers were not prepared to do these double blocks. It took a lot of professional development, and thank you, Ms. Ellen, and your staff for providing that professional development for our elementary and middle schools to start implementing these math blocks. It has had a significant impact, which y'all will see on next year's scores when they are released. We have seen that growth through our benchmark testing, but the curriculum itself and also the teaching strategies would have to be rethought across the district at every level, kindergarten through 12th grade. And if you think about it, that's quite a bit of undertaking for our district to do so quickly. To even consider when we're performing in the top area, in almost every area and subgroup, we have done very well in almost every area. We'd also have to rethink our student achievement. Is it worth implementing this 4-day week and on the hope that student achievement it raises? Because honestly, it's kind of a pie in the sky question. When you read the research, one research study says 0 growth, another one said they had small growth. Well, I'm not in a position to say we should offer anything different than what we're doing now, because our students are achieving at areas and levels that no one thought was possible. We would have to challenge our parents, because guys, the one thing I've heard the most about is, who's going to watch my baby on the Friday? Or who's going to watch my child on the Monday? Because our parents are the ones that are going to be significantly impacted. Nowadays, where our students go for their daycare has to be certified. So you can't have, Mama Barbara's next door neighbor watching 10 students on this Friday at so much money for that one day. It's just putting a significant impact on our parents, and it would be challenging for them to provide somebody there to make sure that they're being properly supervised. We'd also have to challenge our schools. Guys, I don't know if you've seen our schools, but they run pretty good. Our teachers are used to a 7-period day over 5 days a week. When our schools went through the floods, we implemented some flex scheduling. At Erath High, we tried the modified block, which is you had 5 periods per day, and you went to 5 classes, only 3 periods a day. Our scores went down over the 3 years we implemented it. Did not work, and we immediately went back to 7-period day. It's basically the same thing as going to a 4-period day when we did the modified block, and it did not work. But it was definitely, would be a challenge for our schools to implement all these new strategies. Our leaders would have to look at our leaders would have to look at it from a new way when we're doing our investigation, not the investigations, but the evaluations. But honestly, it would put more time in the day. And then what happens when we have to have the sports, when they're actually doing practice for football? Right now we say practice cannot be after school because we have to turn the lights on when it's too late. Well, you would be getting off significantly later in the afternoon, and the lights would have to be implemented and used on our fields, which would put in another draw. And also our teachers, like I said, teachers go through enough right now without making this happen. The one thing I read about teachers, it would draw teachers from every other district, and we would have 100 people that would fill every one of our spots because everybody would want to do the 4-day week. It would be a draw. However, longer days, does that equate to bell-to-bell teaching? Personally, I lived through it, and it was very difficult to do that modified block at Erath High. And lastly, if it would work, it may increase student achievement. It may reduce the amount of electricity and utilities. It may. And it may provide an opportunity for the time period of the day to be that 1 day off, to be utilized for maybe something else, some intervention, tutoring, you name it. But it's all may. It might. It's kind of one of those gray areas. We have proven results right now. What we're doing right now with a 5-day week has proven results. So what is the potential? Transportation.